Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. The B.O.O update for Astroneer released earlier today, so let's take a look at everything that's new, what's changed, and talk about our first impressions. This update brought about the EXO Biofuel Obtainment Operation, or B.O.O, limited time event. You will want to head to Aatrox and be on the lookout for the new Caldranja, a new species of plants that consumes various ingredients and yields 3 new gases. But do take caution when attempting to retrieve the Caudrangea and its base. They are well guarded by volatile Attacti and the new beefed up version of the Thistle Whip. You have to deal with some of these plants before you can grab the Caudrangea. But be certain you collect any and all seeds that drop, and we'll talk about why that's important in just a minute. If you keep looking, you could probably also find several Caldranja all around the surface of Aatrox. Once you have your Caldranja, your search will shift gears as you begin to take part in the limited time event. Spooky Squash have returned this year, but they've had an upgrade. When you uproot a Spooky Squash, you will be rewarded with 1 or more Spooky Squash seeds that you can replant, along with some Spooky Squash samples. These Spooky Squash samples are the key to this limited time event, as they are required to create new gases that are available with the Caudrangea. But don't just ignore those Spooky Squash seeds. Gather them up and replant them so that you can harvest Spooky Squash over and over again to make quick progress through this event. But hey, don't dawdle, it seems that these Spooky Squash seeds disappear after a pretty short time. The EXO B.O.O event has 3 stages, and it utilizes the EXO request platform like previous limited time events. The first stage requires that you use the Caldranja to turn Spooky Squash samples into Squashaline. Each special canister of Squashaline will count as 1 point, and you need a total of 160 to unlock the first stage. That means you will need 320 Spooky Squash samples just for the first stage alone. Once you've completed the Squashaline stage, you will unlock the Hallowed Helm hat. I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible, so I didn't take time to unlock all of the items from the various stages. I will post a follow-up video later showing all of the unlocked items from the B.O.O event. The next stage requires 120 Attapetrol, which is created in the Caudrangea from 1 Spooky Squash sample and 1 volatile Attactus seed. Hopefully you followed my advice earlier and collected some of those seeds when you found your Caldranja. Plant those Attactus seeds and wait just a moment for them to grow up. When you harvest them, they'll each drop at least 1 seed, though most of them seem to drop multiple. You can keep replanting these seeds while also creating Attapetrol. Collect all 120 units of Attapetrol and you'll be rewarded with the Endless Visor. Stage 3 requires 80 units of Noxothane, which is crafted from Spooky Squash samples and elegant Spewflower seeds. You should be able to locate Spewflowers on Aatrox, so again, just collect the seeds, plant them, and then harvest them until you have enough Noxothane to complete the 3rd stage. That will reward you with the Pumpkin Shelter. Yes, it's a shelter shaped like a giant pumpkin. Along the way, you will receive useful items as rewards at the small pointers indicated on the EXO request platform display. And if you continue sending off the B.O.O gases once you've unlocked all the rewards, you'll receive some random recurring rewards. Speaking of the EXO request platform, you may have noticed that it has a hologram of the medium gas canister at the top. The B.O.O gases can be placed in the medium gas canister, which means you can send quite a few units of a gas at a time. Outside of the event, we have a few quality of life improvements. At long last, we have mass storage for hydrazine. The medium soil canister has been updated to become the medium fluid and soil canister, and it can now hold hydrazine as well as soil. Though, I think this goes without saying, it cannot hold both soil and hydrazine at the same time. Each medium canister can hold 24 regular canisters of hydrazine and 25 if you count the one that gets stored on top. But if you were hoping to have the medium canister automatically refuel your shuttle thrusters, well, that doesn't happen. But still, it's very cool to finally have the option to store large quantities of hydrazine in one place. The research catalog received a nice little update as well. Each item in the catalog now has a brief description, and many indicate how you can use them. Slot size information, along with any dependencies and power values, are listed there as well. I really think that this will go a long way toward helping people understand what all of the various items in the catalog are and what they can be used for. I especially appreciate the power values, as this information can help players know what to expect in terms of power management needs for each item. The EXO Outfitter store received new Halloween themed items for purchase as well. The Astromancy bundle includes the new Hocus Pocus hat, Incantation palette, and the Crystal Ball visor. On top of that, there are 2 new masks, 3 new hats, 4 new emotes, and 5 new palettes. There were a handful of bug fixes in this update as well, and you can check out the patch notes if you're interested in that information. Overall, I think this is a nice little Halloween themed update that should provide a couple of hours of fun gameplay. I'm glad to see a new variation on the limited time events, moving them beyond just simple fetch quests. Using multiple Caldranges and a bit of automation, you should be able to quickly set up a Spooky Squash farm to sail right through this event. I do wish that the seeds didn't despawn so quickly though, as a growing farm can often get a bit messy to keep up with, and I haven't been able to always get to all the seeds in time. Now, I am a bit concerned that the overall event could become a bit repetitive since every single item requires the use of the Cauldrangea, and especially if you don't set up any form of automation. Since it's easy enough to get a good sized farm going, and that supplies you with all the seeds that you need, this event could quickly turn into a monotonous cycle of just putting stuff on the Caldranja, waiting a few seconds, taking off the gas, just to repeat it all over and over and over again. But the Halloween themed items in the Exo Outfitter store are very well done as usual, but I still take issue with the pricing strategy. I personally feel that the items in the Exo Outfitter store overall are just overpriced in relation to the value that they add to gameplay. But that's just my personal opinion, and I'm not one to really dig too deeply into character customization in most games anyway. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on the B.O.O update. Are you excited to take part in this new event? And if you've already gotten started, what do you think of this new variation on limited time events in Astroneer? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you're new to my channel and looking for some help getting started or making your way through Astroneer, be sure to check out my Astroneer Academy series, where we take a deep dive into all things Astroneer, from the very basics of survival all the way through the Rift and beyond. And if you are already a fan of Astroneer Academy, I also have a new merch store featuring quite a bit of Astroneer Academy and Vainglorious Gaming themed merch. And of course, you can catch Astroneer videos right here on my YouTube channel every Wednesday, and you can hang out while we play Astroneer on live streams every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/Vainglorious Gaming. And hey, be sure to come hang out with us on the Vainglorious Discord server, where we have quite a few Astroneer players, plus a dedicated Astroneer chat room and voice channel, and even the opportunity to play on the Vainglorious Astroneer server. And so that wraps up everything for the B.O.O update. So until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.